Hi there, welcome to another 2 to 3 days Spotlight series. Today I'm joined by Becca Aspinwall, who's a legal director at Pinsent Masons. Pinsent Masons is a global professional services firm with law at its core, and they take very seriously their inclusivity and diversity agenda and are totally up and supportive of people working flexibly. So this morning I wanted to get under the bonnet and find out a bit more about what it's genuinely like to work flexibly at Pinsent Masons, which is why Becca is speaking to me today. So welcome, Becca.
Thanks, Juliet.
Becca has been with Pinsent Masons for 14 years, and she's the mother of 2 young children. She currently works 4 days a week, and so does her husband. But come September, there's going to be a massive change, as her husband is going to go back to work 5 days a week. So the point of this Spotlight series is to really find out how Becca is going to be able to juggle both. So Becca, you have what would some describe as a full-on career and a home life, which is incredibly exciting and exhausting in equal measure, I'm sure. But what I'd really love to know is, how does Pinsent Masons genuinely support you to work those 4 days and have your 5th day off to be with your children?
I think it's definitely part of the culture, and quite a few people across the firm work 4 days, some even work 3 days. So asking to have a 4-day working week didn't feel like, I was going to be the only person across the business doing that.
Yeah.
And colleagues are really accepting of it as well. And most clients are very accepting of it too. So, and I think it's just being open and working with people to remind them when your non-working day is, and making sure that you're putting in place support for those days when you're not there, and being able to shift work and meetings to fit your non-working day, and just giving everybody advance warning is how I find the easiest way of making it work.
Okay. And speaking as a woman that takes on a lot herself, I know that personal boundaries are really important. Otherwise, you can always just keep giving. You can keep saying yes to Pinsents. You can keep saying yes to your kids. And then you are left as a woman feeling, completely frazzled. What's your top tips for any other woman out there looking to carry on her legal career and work 4 days a week? Do you have any top tips around your personal boundaries that you do to take care of yourself?
I think probably taking care of yourself is maybe the hardest thing.
Yeah.
And you have to decide what you want your boundaries to be. And at the moment, my boundaries are being around in the evenings with the kids as much as possible. And so we, between myself and my husband, we share pick up and drop off. And we like to be able to do that ourselves. So there's always somebody who's picking up the kids and bringing them home and doing bath time and bedtime.
Okay.
And, for me, that's really important. The actual looking after myself, I'm definitely not doing enough exercise at the moment. That's something that I'd like to build into my life, but I think that's going to have to just mean me waking up earlier in the mornings to fit that into a busy life.
Okay. And come September, when your husband goes back 5 days a week, that's going to be quite a big shift for you guys. And to me, it's all about teamwork at home and at work. So how, again, and this is a struggle for a lot of women, is, not always are their husbands the most supportive. How do you guys share the domestic load so that you can both pursue your careers? Again, what are your top tips or big pieces of advice?
I think that's mostly about being flexible, because we've both got demanding jobs. My husband's also a legal director at a law firm, and so we have very sort of demanding requirements at different times of the week, different times of the month. So it is just about being open and honest with each other and trying to work out who's going to be the one to pick up the kids that particular day. But we try and share it equally at the moment. When he does go back to 5 days, it's going to be slightly harder. Actually, I think holidays is going to be the hardest, school holidays, because at the moment
Right.
we've only got 3 days to cover during a school holiday, but we're going to have 4 once he goes back to 5 days. So I think that will be the biggest noticeable shift, because at least during the week they've got after school care at school and nursery to the same, to kind of 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So we can juggle that mostly at the moment.
And how do you think you will juggle the holidays then?
Either doing more school clubs or having to take sort of spot holiday days, I suppose. There's always the flexible option of having, I think everybody's entitled to 4 weeks of unpaid parental leave
Okay.
during a year. So that's another possibility if we needed it. But yeah, it's just about talking all the time, isn't it, to try and work out who's going to be where, when.
Yes, I think it's about having, from what you've told me, that you both regard your careers as being equal, and which I think is important. And then it's about constant communication and coming to an amicable solution, isn't it? It's about working through how you both support each other. One doesn't assume that one's career trumps the other one.
Yeah, I think that's definitely an important point.
Anything else you'd like to share with the women of the 2 to 3 days community, Becca?
I think just give it a go if that's what you want to do and it feels right for your life, then give it a go and see if it can work, because I think a lot of people are scared that it can't work, or they think that they'll be doing 5 days and 4, and you just have to set your own limits, I think, and learn how to say no.
Learn how to say no. And Pinsent Masons, I get the impression, are very good at supporting you to say no. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. But I think you have to take on that responsibility as well, because you know what your workload is and you know what your home demands
Yeah.
are. So you have to be willing to say, I can't do that at the moment, and or it
Yeah.
will have to be tomorrow, or whatever is needed.
Yeah. And I'm hearing about this more and more. It is about self-responsibility. And if you take self-responsibility, then that's one thing. And then, but if the culture of the organization, like at Pinson's, is supportive of you taking self-responsibility, then together you can find a solution that works for you, the company, and the clients, which is what it's all got to come down to at the end of the day, isn't it?
Definitely. And I think when the firm has an overall culture that supports flexible working, that means that your colleagues who are surrounding you are also more likely to support it. And that's
Yes.
they're the ones that also have to be a bit flexible to help you be able to achieve
Yeah.
flexible working. So it's important to build good relationships with colleagues as well.
And also, what goes around comes around. You'll end up supporting your colleagues, and I think that's just quite a nice. It's a team effort, isn't it, to get to the end result that everybody wants, sort of harmony between work and home.
Definitely. And that's what it should be. Work should be teamwork.
Teamwork. Well, I think on that note, we'll end it there. So thank you very much, Becca.
Thanks, Juliet.